others.
Hey, Zoom people, can you hear us? No? Yes? Great. Thank you, Marcy. All right. And then we're going to know if we can hear you in just a second.
How's
John,
the
will you
sound
unmute 9? Just
on my
unmute
end?
9. Somebody on Zoom, will you talk, please?
Hello? Hello? This is Marcy in Zoomland. Can you hear me?
Marcy, say something.
I am speaking.
About,
I am
I can't
speaking.
hear you at all now. Dang.
yeah. This one I know. This is a different message.
Hello? Can anyone hear me?
We can hear you.
Bonnie can't hear me. Sarah,
I
can
think
you
we
hear
maybe
me?
just wait until they figure things
I'm
out.
I'm online. I can hear you.
I can hear you, Bonnie.
In a minute, but right now we got to test things, so sorry. I get it. I don't like it either.
Bonnie, can you hear me now? Somebody say something. See if Bonnie can hear you.
Oh, hello.
Hi, Louise.
How are you?
Good. Bill, are you hearing us?
Hello, I can hear you, Marcy.
Good. Bonnie, are you hearing us?
I can hear everyone.
Great. Hi, Catherine. Hi, Francoise.
Okay, just testing. Thank you for your patience, Zoomers. So much gratitude.
You're welcome. Thanks for everything you're doing, Joelle.
Oh, you're so welcome. And I want to share. I want to move my share window over to my other screen.
All right.
Narrating my thing. And how's this work? And I want to see this over here, but not yet. Okay, and then I want to stop the share. How do I stop the share? Where to go? Okay, there it is. Okay, stop share. Okay, it works. Okay.
Hello?
Okay.
Yeah. Welcome. This portion of the weekend's program is the community inspiration. We've gathered activists who are, we're all concerned about fascism. And we're going to talk about the challenges we face and what we can do about it, and partially through a musical lens, since that's also why we're here. So Lindsey's going to moderate, and I'm turning it over to her.
We're going to do a song by Pete Seeger called Letter to Eve. Oh, Eve, where is Adam? Now you're kicked out of the garden. Oh, Eve, where is Adam? Now you're kicked out of the garden. Then wandering from shore to shore, now you find there's no more. Oh, watching the terrace, there is a long day walk. With love, only love, save this world from disaster. Love, only love, save this world from disaster. Don't you wish love could end the confusion, or is it just one more illusion? Oh, Parchment Terrace, here Sunday is a long day walk. Well, if you want to have great love, you gotta have great anger. If you want to have great love, you gotta have great anger. When I see innocent folks shot down, just make my one shake my head and frown. Oh, Parchment Terrace, near Shanti Salam Ewa. If you want to hit the target square, you better not have thine anger. If you want to hit the target square, you better not have thine anger. Or else it'll be just one more time when the correction creates another crime. Oh, Parchment Terrace, Mir Shante Salam Ewa. Well, if music, only music, well, if music could only bring peace, I'd only be a musician. If music could only bring peace, I'd only be a musician. If songs could do more than dull the pain, if melodies could only break these chains. Oh, Parchment Terrace, Mir Shanti Salam Ewa. Oh, Eve, go tell Adam we gotta build a new garden. Oh, Eve, go tell Adam we got to build a new garden. We got to get on working on a building, a decent home for all God's children. Oh, Parchment Terrace, Mir Shanti Salam Ewa. Oh, go tell Adam next time he asks you. Yes, Eve, go tell Adam next time he asks you. Hey, baby, it's cold outside. What's the password to get inside? Oh, Parchment Terrace, Mir Shanti Salam Ewa. Oh, Parchment Terrace, Mir Shanti Salam Ewa. Oh, Parchment Terrace, Mir Shanti Salam Ewa. 4,000 languages in this world means the same to every boy and girl. Oh, Parchment Terrace, Mir Shanti Salam Ewa. Charlie King, everybody. Charlie King. Charlie introduced me to that song as I was a new member of PMN. He said, I think you might want to try, remember, Letter to Eve? And I'm like, I don't know what it is. It was at Erlin's house, yes.
So it was a very appropriate song, but I want to be able to introduce you all now. Say good afternoon, first of all, and thank you for being here. We gather at a moment when the meaning of civil rights and civil liberties is being tested in real time. Not in history books, but in neighborhoods, workplaces, schools, and our houses, our homes. For many immigrants in this country, the presence of ICE is not an abstract policy issue. It is a daily reality marked by fear, uncertainty, and separation. These experiences raise profound questions about due process, human dignity, and who is truly protected under the promise of justice. This conversation today matters not only for immigrants, but for all of us here and for all of us out there in the world. When rights are weakened for some, they are weakened for what? All. That's right. Tonight's panel challenges us to confront urgency, to listen deeply, and to examine how power, policy, and enforcement intersect with our shared values as Americans. Our hope is that this discussion sparks honest dialogue, informs debate, and most importantly, is renewed commitment to protecting civil rights and liberties for all people. I would like to introduce you to today's panelists. Of course, we have Arthur Schwartz. Give it up for the, yes. Arelis Figueroa, Nikki Nesbary, and Peter. Peter, I don't know, what is your last name? Oh, Burkholder, Peter Burkholder. And Lynn, yes.
And Bonnie Lockhart on Zoom.
Oh, and Bonnie Lockhart on Zoom. Okay, I can't quite see from this angle,
Hold on a second,
but she's here.
No
worries.
And there she is.
Yay. Okay, so
Bonnie, would you unmute and say hi?
Hi. I just lost the video. I have the audio, but no video from New York. Oh
That's
no,
one of the-
never mind. I
Yep.
see what's going on.
Yes.
Hi from Zoomland.
hi, Bonnie. I'm going to take the liberty to introduce you to the two panelists. We're going to have music and song with Nikki and Peter, and they are going to be able to, express in song what we're going through. As we know, we had a brother that was shot. This was explained, I think Joanne explained it actually at the community meeting. So obviously this is not over. It will never be over, unfortunately. But we're gonna talk about it. An hour is not that much time, but we are going to share, and you're going to see some of the things that perhaps we can do to continue to, go out here and fight the good fight. I'm going to take the liberty to introduce you to Arthur Schwartz. Arthur Schwartz has been a progressive activist since his days in the 1960s at Bronx Science. Yeah. Fight not only against the war in Vietnam, but for a student Bill of Rights, which would give students more room to protest. He then went to Columbia, where after a student strike, building occupations, and 3 arrests, and worked with the union reformers, he decided it might be useful to be a lawyer. Arthur's work initially focused on the rights of union reformers, and after some of them got elected, he became a union lawyer, serving for 25 years as counsel to the transport worker here in New York City. Now, in addition, he is general counsel to the Center for the Independence of the Disabled in New York, a 200-employee foundation which served 70,000 New Yorkers last year. Over the years, his political work has included representing activists seeking permits for all types of demonstrations. We need this man. This man is our angel while we go into battle. And has represented people after mass arrests, was a lawyer for the anti-nuke movement and Occupy Wall Street, and represented Bernie Sanders, Cynthia Nixon, and Jumaane Williams in their races for president and governor. Arthur lives in Greenwich Village, where he has been the elected Democratic district leader since 1995. So let's give it up once again for this soldier. And now I'm going to take the liberty to introduce you to Arelis Figueroa. Originally from Dominican Republic, Arelis Figueroa is an activist, community organizer, counselor, and pastor. She has worked with marginalized communities in New York City for more than 30 years, aligning herself with the Poor People's Campaign. Raised in a deeply musical environment, she studied piano and guitar and has led numerous youth music groups. Her musical work is rooted in Nueva Canción and Afro-Dominican traditions, and she's here today to tell us her story. Arelis Figueroa, give it up for her. All right, I think I'm going to sit down and let you all pretty much talk about, or at least give an opening. But before we do, just to kind of get ourselves in the focus of thinking of the questions or being able to have that listening ear, let's talk about what's going on in the world. I want you to throw out some things. Give us what's happening. Just shout it out. What's happening in the world today?
Fascism.
Murder.
Tyranny.
Gaslighting.
War.
Lies.
And lies. Lies.
Environmental plunders.
Videos appear to contradict federal accounts of fatal shootings.
What a surprise.
Panelists?
And more lies.
Panelists, sorry, this is logistics. The people on Zoom can only hear what comes out of that speaker. So if somebody says something out here and we want them to hear, if you panelists with a microphone could echo back, then they will hear it.
Okay.
So if I say corruption.
So we heard lies, murder, families torn apart, the end of women's
Okay.
health.
And as
more
loud
lies.
as that mic can be, John.
Do it again.
Or you can.
It's sort of an overwhelming litany of
Thank you.
trauma.
Moving forward.
Okay. The reason why we did this is just to, obviously we all know in this room what's going on in the world. And a lot of us have been trying to do our best to fight it through protest, to talking to strangers and trying to help and teach them what's going on. So what we're going to do is we're going to open it up. I'm going to open it up with a question. It's a simple question. Arthur could answer it like in a nanosecond, but I want to understand, and I want to share it with everyone else, about civil rights, civil liberties. What have they become in 2026? We know what it was in 1964, but what does it become now? What does civil rights and civil liberties look like to you in 2026?
I'm going to go a little bit off topic.
Can you hear me? Yeah. That's better. I'm going to go a little bit off topic. I want to add, I used to sing. I still sing to myself. But 41 years ago, Erlen Zygmuntovich and I were in a chorus together called the Four Parts of the Movement Chorus. And we got invited by the Sandinistas to tour Nicaragua when they were fighting the Contras. So we go back a long time. 1985. And I want to go a little bit off topic before we get into what are your rights and what are our liberties today. Because the killing of Rachel Good a few weeks ago and today's killing of an ICU nurse, who they said was trying to assassinate an ICE officer, brought to mind to me when I was a high school senior and 4 students were killed at Kent State. It just was flashed in my head. And 4 more at Jackson State a few days later by the National Guard and by state troopers. And the president at the time was a guy named Nixon.
Yeah.
Remember him?
Yeah.
Maybe if you're all old enough to remember him, then there's not enough young people in this room, right? We marched, we organized, we took things over, we occupied buildings. We took over the Democratic Party. 1972, they nominated a guy named McGovern. Yeah. He was the anti-war candidate. How many states did he win?
1.
1. He lost one of the most lopsided votes in American history, like 60-40. It was horrible. The reason was because we mostly were talking to ourselves. If we keep talking to ourselves, they will control. I heard people calling out various topics, but you know what? Think about Zoran's recent mayoral election. Did he talk about fascism? No. What was he talking about to reach New Yorkers?
Affordability.
Affordability. He talked about the rents are too high. He would stand in front of crowds and say, the rents need to be, and they would say, frozen. And buses need to be free, right? And that was something that went beyond the base that we all come from. And we have to be able, we have to resist. We have to resist, we have to march, we have to protest, we have to speak out, but we have to make sure that I eschewed the electoral arena for 20 years, right? Protest, protest, protest. But in fact, if we don't pay attention to the electoral arena and the people that implement the laws and tell ICE what to do and tell the National Guard what to do, it's just going to keep being the same thing.
Yep.
We could still wind up Trump, whether he stays in office or Vance takes over or whoever, Marco, little Marco he called him, who's now the acting president of Venezuela, who wants to be the acting president of Cuba. They're going to be there. So we have to make sure the work that we do is just not resistance. We have to build a movement again, like Zoran did when he ran for mayor. We have to pay attention to the electoral arena. We have to pay attention to people who don't naturally come from where we are. We have to pay attention to young people. This crowd is too old. It's too old, and I'm probably as old as anybody in this room. We need to bring young people into this movement. We need to bring young people into the activities that we are doing. Because if we don't do it, we're not going to succeed. Later, I can give people what your rights, what you have the right to march, where you can march, when you can't march. If anybody has questions, I can answer all those questions. But right now, Trump is defining civil rights and civil liberties. You have heard Vance say, ICE agents have absolute immunity. That's bullshit. But you know what? They pull them back, they hide them, they say you can't prosecute them. In fact, I heard someone today from the Justice Department say, well, they can indict the guy from today for murder, and we'll remove it to federal court, and then the Justice Department has to take over, and you know what they're going to do? Drop the case.
Right.
So we have to go further than just resistance. We have to not think, I have a right, you can't do this to me, right? Or slam you down to the ground, or put you in handcuffs, or kick in your door. We've seen some of that over the last couple of days. We don't need a warrant. ICE doesn't need a warrant. So just keep that in mind. We have to focus on building a bigger group than we have now so that we can make sure that this doesn't continue, somehow we have to survive at least till maybe next January. If and the Democratic Party is not always the answer, because it has to be a Democratic Party that believes in doing something. Maybe we'll have a little bit of relief, but it may take another 3 years. That being said, I'll give it to Arelis.
Thank you.
Thank you, Arthur.
You want your picture?
Yes.
And I want the Zoom people to see it. Here we go. Okay. Esta.
Yes, I'm here to talk about what we are doing in the court. And I want you to see this picture and other pictures. I want you to come, right, with me to the court. 26 Federal Plaza or 290 Broadway. I'm doing this work with the New Sanctuary Coalition, also through La Iglesia del Pueblo. And La Iglesia del Pueblo is a community that was born out of the Poor People's Campaign, and 100% of the people are new immigrants. So my job
Who's in that picture?
Yes, who is in that picture?
Who's that?
So I want you to see this picture first and just see the picture and tell me what do you feel. Then when the person sent me that picture, when I was there, right, and I noticed the one ICE agency next to me, but it was when he sent me the picture that I saw all those people behind me, 4 or 5 ICE agents. And they go to the court. The judge can say, okay, you can go home and your next court will be May 2027. And they just can take them. So in the court, we met this guy from Italy, and he took this picture and other pictures that I want you to see. And then for a moment, we're just going to see the picture and see how do we feel. And this, as an artist, we know how to connect the mind and the heart.
So we're going to go to the next one.
And the next picture?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Stop share.
Courage, my friend, you do not walk alone. We will walk with you to see your spirit home. Courage, my friend, you do not walk alone. We will walk with you and see your spirit home. Courage, my friend, you do not walk alone. We will walk with you and see your spirit home.
Take them.
It is a challenge to be there, but I'm convinced that that is the place to be right now. And you can do it with us too. And the beautiful thing this time is there is so many people in solidarity. We are the New Sanctuary Coalition, but then you can find a group that is called Secret Corps, Friends of the Court. You find people and they say, oh, what group are you? Oh, no, we are from Brooklyn. We organize ourselves, so we are Friends of the Court. And I think that is what is going to save us, right? Solo el pueblo salva al pueblo. Beside this accompaniment, we have a Proce clinic, do yourself, every Wednesday. 5:45, we met at San Xavier Church in West 15th Street. 55 West 15th Street. Helping people with the asylum. And now, you know that every time is something new. And maybe you know about this. Now there's something called ACA, pre-termination, where the government is saying that people can be sent to a third country. They have been doing this contract with other countries, and they're telling people that they can be sent to Uganda, Honduras, or Ecuador. And they're giving people 10 days
to choose,
to present an argument to say why they cannot be sent to that place. Some of the judges have fight and are taking granting them more time. But that is what we are. That's what we are doing now, trying to present this argument. So it's new. We don't know if that's going to work, but that's how we are kind of working right now. The other thing that we do every Thursday. Do you know that it's in the Bible they call the when they the 7 round
around the walls
around
of Jericho?
The wall, right? The Jericho walk. Jericho walk. So we go 7 laps
around the
26
city of Jericho.
Federal Plaza, and then at the end, a big, loud scream.
Boom.
So this is something that it would be great if we have more people coming with us. There is another group right there also on Wednesday at 12, and they are also in silent, just with the sign. I think it's Rise and Resist. I think that is the group that is also there.
What time on Thursday?
Thursday is at 11, the Jericho Walk. At 11. Thursday at 11, Jericho Walk. And we are in the court almost every day. And you can go to the website and sign. And there is training for the accompaniment and training also at the it's just the New Sanctuary Coalition. New Sanctuary Coalition.
Sanctuary.
Sanctuary Coalition.
New
I
Sanctuary
believe we can
Coalition.
don't you have some that can be handed out, or maybe perhaps?
We
So
have
yeah,
this, and then you can. There is a QR code.
and we can put them on the table or some of the displays, and you can take down the information if we don't have enough cards.
Beautiful. Yeah, so I don't know if we're going to talk about Know Your Right, and one of the questions that she was asking us, like, what is our right? But it's like, who knows what is this? Right? Right? At the beginning, we were so excited, giving people this. And then what happened?
They don't pay attention to
it. And at the beginning, it was working. You remember the first ICE race in Long Island, it was very successful. People said, no, I have right. But then, forget about it. So.
And what does that mean, Arelis? What does that mean when we're talking about a card that has our rights on it? And we can say, I know my rights, and show them, and they can take it and tear it up in your face. What right is that? What law is that? What has been written that says, I can take whatever you have and just rip it up without any recourse? Because that's a curious question, isn't it? You know, when you have something that clearly is supposed to protect your rights and protect your body, and yet they're saying, no, it doesn't. Who says it doesn't? I mean, who's making that call other than Trump? I mean, that's another.
Also the kidnapping of these people, and you know that the congressman, the people from the Democratic Party, they were trying to know and to get access where they was taking these people, and they would never allow them to go. So there was one of the people that we were accompanying that they took him to the 10th floor, the famous 10th floor, and when he get there, that was by mistake.
Yeah.
So he told us that the supervisor was very, I say, oh, no, okay, you can go. So this guy was able to kind of tell us what was happening, and we have a meeting with Goldman, and he was able to testify what he saw, what he lived in those like a 5-6 minutes that he was there. So that's what I wanted to say. I wanted to hear from you what you're feeling and questions. Oh, let's. Lindsey. There's wireless. Okay.
Yeah.
So no, I just want to ask, so does that mean that at this point those red cards and all the things that we were doing in the local neighborhoods, like in New York City, does that mean that it's not the way anymore? I just want to know, because
some people have, like, you know, if they are in their house and they don't open the door, they still say, no, I don't have to open the door. All the churches, we have put a sign, we have sign saying that, you need to have order, you know, signed by the judge.
Judicial.
Yeah. Some of the things are still working, but for example, in the car, people don't. They say no, I cannot open my door, and they are breaking the windows.
But I'm asking, like in the stores, because there's been a lot of movement around giving these cards, educating the shop owners about their employees. Is ICE, I want to know, because I sometimes don't listen because I can't handle it for a day, 2, maybe. Okay.
We need to keep doing it.
Okay.
And, and also for the owner of the business, to then know how they can protect their employee. That is very important.
Because this is so important now, that fear, like when you said that before, I was like, oh shit. So that whole movement that was really very inspiring here in New York, a lot of organizing on very local levels and going through certain blocks and hitting every store with these cards. You know, hearing this, it's like, oh, so now.
What is also good is let us know when ICE is in the neighborhood. And some of you told me that you have your whistle. When ICE in the neighborhood, so don't go to this supermarket. They are in the supermarket on 88. So I have like a 3 chat, like a rapid response. That is very important.
The requirement under the U.S. Constitution that governs ICE too, right? They're not immune from the U.S. Constitution, and they cannot legally enter your home, enter your car, enter your store without a warrant unless you let them in. That's the law. That doesn't mean, but more and more, they're doing it. We saw videos just this week of an ICE agent kicking in someone's door, said, you can't get out of here, you don't have a warrant, I'm not letting you in, and the guy kicked in the door. The only time they're supposed to be able to do that is if they're in hot pursuit of someone who just committed a crime, right? And their position is, these are all criminals, we can chase the criminal, we can break down their door, which is not the law. So what's important for us, because I don't, unless there's people here who are being subject to this behavior, is that's where videotaping, because eventually, fingers crossed, because maybe it goes to the Supreme Court and then we don't know what they're going to do, eventually cases, and they're being brought now, right? It violates people's constitutional rights. You can sue about that kind of thing. You can sue, just like people have sued over the years for New York City cops beating them up, arresting them illegally, breaking into their homes, right? Searching them without a warrant. They can't search a person either. Cases get thrown out, people go to court, they've won lots of money. Luckily in New York, we're in New York City. In New York City, however the cops are, however they're being governed, we actually now have a mayor who's on our side. We have a corporation counsel named Stephen Banks, I'm proud to say an intern for me when he was a law student, who believes in those rights and is going to take our side. So in New York City, that, I mean, you know, after Minnesota, they're now next to going to Portland, and now they're talking about going to Boston. They'll come to New York eventually. And they'll utilize these tactics. And what's important for us as non-immigrants, videotape, witness, get videotapes of the badge numbers of the people who are involved. Car license plates, because you know the ICE guys come in with masks, even in 26 Federal Plaza, right? They're wearing a mask, they're not wearing a badge. Videotape them, eventually they will be identified. Just like they were able to identify the guy that killed Rachel Good. Fast. And the government was, Trump and his people, Christine Ohm, she's furious that he was identified publicly, right? But we have to do that. Witness, videotape, you're allowed to videotape. If an ICE agent says stop, back off. If an ICE agent says if you don't stop doing that, I'm going to arrest you, you have to decide whether it's worth taking that arrest. You'll get out. No charges will be brought against you because no federal magistrate is going to uphold an arrest for videotaping someone unless they're going to say you're interfering with our law enforcement operation. But if you're standing 20 feet back and you're just taking a videotape, they're going to have a hard time proving how that happens. But that's what we can do, right? Because what we told people are their rights are still their rights, but they're ignoring them. And that's why you guys are using the word fascism, right? Because the Gestapo didn't care. That's, even, some of the right-wing blogosphere is calling it Gestapo. So make a record. Make a record. It's really important to the people who are taking. They're moving really fast, right? They arrest somebody in New York City one day, the next day they're in Texas.
Yeah.
So they can't find a lawyer, and their family doesn't know where they are, and they have no way of calling a lawyer. But at least there's some record of the person being arrested so that they can be tracked down.
This is all good information. I hope it's marinating. We're going to have more questions, of course, and more insight. Thank you very much, Arthur and Arelis. We're going to take a musical break, a little musical breather, because this is heavy stuff, and we're going to have to be able to digest it. And so we're going to be able to do that with the beautiful sounds of Nikki and Peter. They're going to share some music with you and to kind of get you through it and motivate you as well.
I was picking up this mic also to point out you can get these inexpensive lanyards for your phones in case someone tries to knock your phone out of your hand. You can also get them that clip onto a lanyard around your neck. So I fortunately haven't had to need that yet.
You do not carry this all alone.
carry this all alone. This is way too big for you to carry this on your own. So you do not carry this all alone. You do not carry this all alone. No, you do not carry this all alone. This is way too big for you to carry this on your own. So you do not carry this all alone.
We do not carry this all alone. And that kind of brings me to another question of how do we help our brothers and sisters who are in the struggle? What are some of the things that we do or that we can do or that you have done to help those who are in danger, find refuge, find safe haven, find peace of mind? It's very stressful and you're walking down the street and someone, grabs you. What can we do? What can we do to help those in need and under attack, basically?
I just want to say that it makes a difference to accompany these people. If we put ourselves in those shoes, right? You don't know the language, you don't know nobody. And yes, sometimes we go with the people that have our network, but most of the time we go and meet people over there. And we tell them, in case you give us some contact, in case you are taken. So we have been able to call the family, right? And give you the bad news. So I have to call again and say, listen, your brother was taken. And if they also give us the A number, the lawyers can put the number and soon know where they are around. So that's what we say, empathy, put us in the, yeah. No. Put us in the shoes of other people, but being with them and empathy and love at this moment.
Arthur, do you have anything with regards to? Thank you, Arelis. Do you have any feedback or any information with regards to how we can help those who have been confronted? I don't know where it's coming from, but we're going to find out where that hum is. Whoa.
So,
yeah, we're going to definitely do that. Bonnie, are you there? I can't see her.
Bonnie.
I'm on it.
Okay. You let me know when she's...
Bonnie has to unmute.
Bonnie Lockhart.
There she is.
Okay, we're gonna.
I'm here.
All right. Well, let's segue to Bonnie. She's been waiting for a minute.
I've been listening and glad to be here. I'm gonna teach a song the way I teach it on the street. I'm gonna ask you to say, "No raid, no ban." Say it with me.
Wait.
No raid, no ban on this stolen land.
No raid, no ban on this stolen land.
No ban, no raid.
No ban, no raid
ICE will not be obeyed.
ICE will not be obeyed.
Yeah, and this is a rewrite of a song by Ellie Grace, who originally wrote it, No Wall, No Ban. The threats have somewhat changed, but the song remains a good one to sing on the street. Get my note.
Ask her if she's got original sound on.
Do you have
I have original sound for musicians on. Are you having trouble with the sound?
Yes.
Let me make sure that's still on. Hold on.
No, but even when she's singing, it cut out.
Yep, it's still on. I don't know what to do to improve the situation.
We're good.
Continue to do your thing.
Yep.
We're here. We're listening.
Just go for it?
Yep.
Okay. We say no raid, no ban on this stolen land. We say no ban, no raid. ICE will not be obeyed. We say no raid, no ban on this stolen land. We say no ban, no raid. ICE will not be obeyed, and we will show up. And we will rise, shout it from the mountain, sing it to the skies, and we will speak up loud and clear. All creation is welcome here. No raid, no ban. We say no raid, no ban on this stolen land. We say no ban, no raid. ICE will not be obeyed. We say no raid, no ban on this stolen land. We say no ban, no raid. ICE will not be obeyed, and we will show up. And we will rise, shout it from the mountain, sing it to the skies, and we will speak up loud and clear. All creation is welcome here. We say no raid, no ban on this stolen land. We say no ban, no raid. ICE will not be obeyed. We say no raid, no ban on this stolen land. We say no ban, no raid. ICE will not be obeyed. Thanks.
All right. Thank you, Bonnie. Okay, so we were talking about what we can do to help those who are in need of our services. And Arthur, I think you were going to elaborate on that as well.
In some ways, what I talked about what we can do short of throwing our bodies and getting ourselves arrested, which sometimes is necessary for your moral conscience, for whatever, but it is not necessarily going to do any difference. And I'm talking about someone who's been arrested now for like 5 times, and I'm a lawyer, at demonstrations, civil disobedience, etc. It brought attention to an issue, but it didn't necessarily cure it. In fact, I recall in 1972 sitting in a building with a bunch of students who had occupied it, and everybody else started going back to class, right? Well, they just relocated the classes, and we were sitting in a building, and we said, what are we doing here? Right? So I think that it's important to learn from the struggle that people have had in this country and elsewhere, that there's an immediate need. You may feel a moral imperative to grab the person and get arrested yourself. But more important to getting rid of them is to go back out and organize. Because all that's going to happen is you're going to get arrested and go to jail too. But if you take that energy, that anger, and you translate it into activity that gets more people involved, and it's not just us. You know, it's one of the things I watched in Minnesota recently. Some people building bigger and bigger marches. They had a work stoppages today. A lot of businesses were closed. And then there were a few people that decided to go battle with ICE. Throw things at them, block their cars, kick their cars, have tear gas thrown at them. And what comes across in America? What comes across the TV news, whether it's Fox or CNN or
Paid
the tear gas
agitators.
and the guys kicking the canisters wearing masks.
Paid agitators.
That doesn't, right, they could have been, right? I remember in the anti-war movement, there were people that would come to me and, yeah, we should go like throw rocks at the police. And we would know right away that they were planted by the police, right? But that, we have to be careful about what we do because it makes the evening news and it doesn't necessarily organize anybody else to be on our side. So we need to, and I'm preaching that with the work that Arelis is doing is important with immigrants at 26 Federal Plaza. It's important to keep that visible so everybody knows what's going on. But some of the most powerful images the last few days that have motivated Joe Rogan to call ICE the Gestapo are visuals, whether it's the good killing, whether it's 5-year-olds being taken from their parent in a driveway, whether it's kids being pushed, whether it's people just being slammed to the ground. That's the kind of image we have to get put out, not of someone getting in a tussle because he's kicking ICE's car and he's trying to throw smoke bombs at them, because that's going to turn off most Americans and say they must be right. So that I'm going to say that bearing moral witness is important, but so is organizing.
Mm-hmm. And how do you feel about, and this is open to everyone, Nikki or anyone want to give some feedback? Peter.
Oh, I just wanted to say one thing about the whistles. Please check in with your local immigrant rights action network before using them. We've been instructed in Maryland not to use them by CASA Maryland and the local immigrant rights network. It raises the tension in the already targeted community. It tends to center the respondent instead of the victims, and it also makes it very difficult for people recording and shooting video to get the name of the person being abducted so their family can go, and also for rapid responders to coordinate with each other over the noise. So please just check in with your local immigrant rights action network.
Thank you for that. Okay, we have Arelis, did you want to share?
No, I just want to say also that my teacher, they say you only get what you organize to take, right? You only get what you organize to take. Also, political education. Everything that we do, the Poor People's Campaign, and the movement, is education. It's hard, right? These people came here thinking this is the American dream, right? Since the beginning, we told them, you know, not quite. Everything that we have here have been fight. We need to be organized. Anyway, they were like so happy with what happened in Venezuela. But they are seeing and they are learning. And we don't get into fight with them. We just tell them what it is, and now they are experiencing it. But at the end, we are also, by doing this, we are organizing. Because we know that we only get what you organize to take.
Speaking of organizing, the question I had to, there's Fred, please.
Hi, everybody. I want to thank
Fred,
you all.
could you actually go this way? So that I can
go.
get you on the camera. You're good. Thank you.
I want to thank you guys for organizing this activity today, and I'm really glad that everyone is here. That it's not like half empty and people are not thinking this is important. It's really very important. I want to do a little bit of a call of something that I've been involved in. I wanted to highlight what Arelis was just saying about organizing, and also what Arthur was saying about a movement. I live in Upper Manhattan, and I've been there for a long time, and I have been organizing there for many, many years. And I want to just say, like, this is an opportunity. If you haven't done it already, maybe a lot of you have, because it's People's Music Network, but to really get to know our neighbors and to develop the kind of solidarity that I think we've always needed, but I think the urgency is now upon us for a lot more people to see the system that we live in, because this is a part of a system that's been around for a long time. It's just in a different process than it's at a higher stage maybe than it has been. But I want to specifically say as a call is the work I've been doing recently, I recently retired from from being a teacher for 36 years. And I'm now in the retiree chapter of the UFT, the United Federation of Teachers, and their unions like the UFT, the PSC, have been involved in the court accompaniment, but there's a lot of people still looking for what to do. So I wanted to explain like kind of the thrust of what I've been working on to see if that resonates and if people would like to get in touch with me. I've been trying to connect retirees who have flexibility, as other people have said, with community organizations who have been doing this work for a long time and have really responded to creating, at times impromptu, but rapid response teams and patrols in neighborhoods and various other activities, including visiting businesses, with, thirdly, schools, because as you know, like families are being affected and attacked, and school children are being affected and attacked. And so in Upper Manhattan and in the city-wide, that's why I'm putting this out as a call, I'm trying to bring in the UFT through I'm on the exec board of the retiree chapter of the UFT, and we're trying to bring the leadership of the union into like a more direct organizing role, but also to connect with these community organizations. In my neighborhood, we have a list of every school in the neighborhood, the principal's name, the chapter leader of the union's name, and it's not a question, it's a call. So I said that when I started. So I hope it's okay to say this, because this is, to me, very urgent. I'll just go back, just to say that uniting the retirees in the teachers union with the community organizations, with the schools. So in my neighborhood, there's a list of every school, principal's name, chapter leader's name, parent coordinator's name, and when there have been sightings, we have rapid response teams that have been going to the location, confirming information, and then relaying it to the appropriate school. So if people are interested in that, to me, that is a synergistic way that we can really use our resources in individual neighborhoods, because I think to build a movement, we got to build a lot of trust. There are Trump supporters now understanding some of the things in my neighborhood that are happening, and we need to reach out to everybody on principles and not get into this partisan nonsense. So that I think is very distracting. So I hope that's helpful. Please see me if any of that sounds like something you could do, even if it's not your neighborhood, because we're building across the city this kind of network. Thank you. Sorry.
Can I take the mic? Is it on?
Yes, it's on.
Check out Third Act. I have a question. I'd like you to explore a little bit more this notion of the legal. It's not doing any good legally yet, but I see a connection between the organizing that's being done around handing out the whistles and the instructions and forming, like the neighborhood group where I am, came out of the Mamdani campaign, and it was not just young people, it was young and old, and it was some people of color, more white people. The white people had more success actually getting into the Upper West Side buildings for the people that were on the lists that we had permission to visit. We really bonded, and I think it's happening in every neighborhood in New York City. Look for your hands-off NYC group, neighborhood group in your neighborhood, and they're banding together and I take responsibility. Your point is well taken about the whistles. I handed out the information. I won't retract it, but just don't use it if it might be putting people in danger. There is a hotline to call instead. Is it okay to give this out? There's a hotline that's essential only for emergency sightings where you think you've seen ICE. And there's the salute information on the sheets is how to confirm, not just, I saw a police car, but is like how to check out the markings on the car, and it's SALUTE for how many there are and what agency they're with and all that. But it's 229-304-8720, and then they will decide whether an alert should go out, and there's already people on the lists. So I see we won't succeed until we got enough people out doing this and organizing with their neighbors, but while we're doing it, it's not succeeding, and ICE is still getting people. And can you talk a little more about the relationship, and also
I used reading Rules for Radicals. Saul Alinsky. I got my start too many years ago, and we failed, I think, with the Poor People's Campaign at the tail end. And it seems like now I'm seeing those rules circulate around. It's kitchen to kitchen, it's organizing, it's neighbor to neighbor, and that's what they're doing. So can you talk a little bit more about, we fail and fail and fail, but we don't succeed until we organize around it?
Great observation, great
question. It was a question in there somewhere.
Yeah, there is a question.
Do you want me to respond?
Yes.
I'm not sure exactly what, I'm not totally sure what the question is, but I think it is important to do that. It's critical to do that organizing. It's critical to make that noise. It's critical to exercise your rights, which is to march, to videotape, to blow whistles, right? And make sure it's documented. Because for us, the lawyers, who may have to fight to defend that right, which has been fought for, remember 1960s? How many people in the South got arrested, killed, rounded up, beat up by cops, who were just marching down the road, right? Lawyers got the information. Nowadays, we can get much more because people can videotape. Document what you're doing so that if someone stops you, that people like me and hundreds of other lawyers in New York City who want to do this, who aren't immigration lawyers, have the information to go back to court and reestablish that people have the right to do it. So do it. Exercise those rights. March, blow whistles, yell, scream. And you know what? Next time you do it, ask one of your neighbors to say, did you see that ICE went into an elementary school the other day and took a parent out who had just dropped their kid off at school? And that really, people are not happy about seeing stuff like that. Come march with me and say that it's a bad thing to do, right? Point out to people the horrors of what's going on with ICE and document it.
That is happening in neighborhood groups where you're not just doing it by yourself.
Right.
You're doing it with your neighbors and getting to know your neighbors.
Right, and that's great. It's great. That's the kind of organizing we need done.
Where do we send the video?
All questions gotta have a mic.
She wanted to know, where do we send the video? I would say, I'm going to just throw out one, I think it's in your, if it's not, one good place to call and then send it is the National Lawyers Guild, which has existed as an organization that fought for people in the 50s, in the 60s, in the 70s, and now a lot of young lawyers, law students, migrate to NLG, and they do organize lawyers to take on these kind of things. So call them up. I have a video. I'm sure they have a way of taking it. Instead of I'm going to say to send it to me.
Dupre, you had something. Yeah, question.
I have a question that I haven't heard of. Please. Boycotting. Can you talk about that? It worked in the past. Where do we go from here?
Great question. How do we apply boycotting? Thank you, Dupre. There's different ways, yeah.
You know, if there are, like this, before with the ICE problem, we had the DEI issue. That's DEI, astounding. I do civil rights work. I do employment discrimination work. We just got a notice from the EEOC that they want to be alerted to instances where white people are being denied opportunities in favor of others, right? A notice, they want us to send them white discrimination cases, right? So there are entities that have said, all right, we're not doing DEI anymore. We're not having most people didn't call it DEI. The press called it DEI. We're not doing affirmative action anymore. And there have been boycotts of those businesses, and some of them have paused their rejection of civil rights. If there was, I don't know that any stores have decided, you know, whether we don't have Walmart in New York City, but say Costco said they're going to, is Target letting ICE agents in? Then we have to tell people to boycott Target. They have to feel it. So that's the kind of, those have to be identified. You have to get that out, and that's a great action to take, because those entities react to money. They lose money. They change their mind.
we want to take, let's give a round of applause here to our panelists, our singers, and yourselves. Great questions, great observations. We really have to. Can we perhaps share it afterward?
Can it take you 1 minute?
It can take her one. Okay. Great.
For New York, it's handsoffnyc.com, not .org. And not the NLG necessarily. You want to send videos and photos to that handsoffnyc.com/report. And that hotline is not 24/7 yet, is what some of us on these signal chats from Hands Off, we have neighborhood groups now. It's not 24/7, but it gives that evidence. And if you send it to either the hotline or that /report, it will get to Attorney General Tish James. She wants videos and also you can get information to make sure you understand the difference between DHS and we have National Guard in New York City that are not ICE. They don't wear the face mask. And different uniforms and different cars that people will misunderstand. And so that's really important to know.
Thank you, Jenny. Okay. All right, we have cards here. There's a few. Share the information, pass it around, write it in your phones, and let's give it up and for our panelists once again. They're fighting the good fight, and they're teaching us how to do it as well. All right, we're going to pass it on.
No, I just want to say, right, that other right is the right to go to court. And they have tried everything to take us out of the court. That's why it's so important. They didn't want to take our ID. They wanted us to be with the person that we want to accompany. But being there is really an act of resistance right now.
Very good. Arthur, you want to say one more thing? I'm closing.
Just keep on organizing. That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
Thank you all. Okay.
Thank you.
Stay. Just stay. Wait. No. Let me direct. Stay.
One voice. One mission. Let's get there.
Many voices, one mission.
Thank you.
Arelis, you have one more song for us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lindsey and Pradeep from what song? What mic? Oh yeah. Now from the Peace Poet and Luaya. Mi única. Oye mi gente, traemos la fuerza. La libertad es mi única bandera. Rise up my people, my condors, my eagle. No human being will ever be illegal. So let's do it. Oye mi gente, traemos la fuerza. La libertad es mi única bandera. Oye mi gente, traemos la fuerza. La libertad es mi única bandera. Oye mi gente, traemos la fuerza. La libertad es mi única bandera. Rise up my people, my condors, my eagle. No human being will ever be illegal. Rise up my people, my condors, my eagle. No human being will ever be illegal. No están solos, no están solas. Vamos trayendo la liberación. No están solos, no están solas. Juntos hacemos la revolución. La liberación, la liberación, la liberación.
Thank you, the entire team that put this wonderful afternoon together. Lindsey and Erland and Arthur and Arelis and Nikki and Bonnie and Peter, who had to leave. So we are, of course, running behind schedule, We have the opportunity of doing Songs of the Spirit right here in the auditorium, or doing PMN's Nightmare. A PMN Nightmare.
It's like this. The PMN Nightmare is, let me see, no sing-along, no words, no melody, no harmony. Percussion instruments. They would.
So Ben will be upstairs in the library, and in the meantime we'll be getting dinner ready, and we've got more fun coming. And thank you to our Zoom friends. Library on the second floor, and Joanne.
So Songs of the Spirit is the opposite of PMN's Nightmare because we have only singing and no instruments. So we're not going to do like a formal thing, but if those who would like to stay for healing and to sing together for a little while, which is what we do in Songs of the Spirit, we concentrate on songs that everybody can sing together. Let's I was told louder, okay. Let's, just maybe move these edges and move into a circle, and whoever wants to stay for Songs of the Spirit, please do. Whoever doesn't want to, please, leave so that we're not disturbed when we're singing. Thank you.
Round robin begins at 7:30. The list is out. No more changes. Thank you,